It's here. Tony Chiazza to throw it up. And away we go. Creighton at number 7, the highest ranking in program history, trying for the first time to reach 18-1. Here's Mo Watson, the nation's leader in assists, to Foster, their leading scorer. And the Kansas State transfer gets the scoring started.
It's what an advantage it is to have where you can post up your guards and get baskets inside. We talk about point paints all the time. A lot of times it's regulated to post players, but right there, Foster, excellent early in the post using that big body.
So Xavier lost at Villanova, then lost at Butler on Saturday, and now facing 7th-ranked Creighton, trying to get back on track. Inside they go, Rashid Gaston, Norfolk State transfer. Defended well by Patton. Makira with the offensive rebound and putback.
The activity by Makira early, not just a jump shooter, showing his athleticism. Rebound inside, able to score.
That's a spot where Xavier may have an advantage in this game. One of the nation's best rebounding teams. And that's been one of the only spots where Creighton has struggled this year. Kyrie Thomas, a tough drive. Can't get it to fall. Gaston clears it. Here's Blewett shooting just 20% over the last 4. And that's got to feel good to see him go through.
Home sweet home, but that time able to catch and transition. An important part. Took the thought process out of it immediately right into a step back.
Watson bounces for Thomas and has his first assist of the day. He averages 9 per game to lead the country.
Yeah, I know we'll be calling his name often and early, but when you have a point guard like Watson that can set you up, you as a player, just get open, he'll find you.
Here is Gooden, freshman out of Kentucky. His minutes have gone down, but Chris Mack shaking things up today. Patton steals it from Makira, and to the other end, able to roll it in.
Now, how many big guys do you see that can play the pick and roll, first of all, keep a guy in front, pluck it away, and then able to, in transition, dribble and finish? That's what makes this young man so special.
They say baseline to baseline, as fast as any draft prospect right now.
Well, they talked about him, the ability for him to keep up with Watson is amazing in itself.
Here's Gooden, drive it on Watson, and a pull-up in the lane popped out. Creighton, one of the top offensive teams in the country, as a team hitting 54% from the field. Well, the high percentage looks, all 3 buckets for him so far have been layups. Watson a jumper. Gaston the rebound. Makira left alone and left it long. For a moment had the rebound, then it falls to Foster. What a move, but then ripped away by Gooden. And last touch by Foster. Chris Mack, National Coach of the Year last year, leading Xavier to that program best number 9 finish. And Greg McDermott in his 7th year at Creighton, his 23rd as a head coach overall. As the Blue Jays at 17-1 with the lone loss coming against Villanova on New Year's Eve in Omaha. Blewett working hard to get free. Huff closed out. Malcolm Bernard, a baseline drive. And trying to fire it into a crowd. It's turned over. Foster leads it for Huff, who traveled.
Well, here's the thing. In the last possession, Malcolm, excellent drive, but guess who was in the middle? It was Justin Patton.
Yeah.
Not necessarily you have to block a shot, but you can intimidate. You can see, and that caused the turnover because you know he's anchoring in the back of the lineup, and here is Patton coming over to take it away, and that's what you're seeing. So the intimidation factor is there, even though he's not blocking the shot.
7-foot redshirt freshman out of Omaha. Stayed home. In fact, his only offer was from Creighton. It's amazing how he's blossomed in such a short time. 3 from Blewett, no good. Huff has the board for Creighton. Watson in a hurry, end to end, lays it in.
And that's the beauty of having a point guard like Watson, understanding pace, timing, get the basketball up the court. And a poor job with transition defense that time by not stopping Maurice Watson.
6 in a row for the Blue Jays. That transition defense, one of Chris Mack's biggest fears coming into this game. That is an offensive foul on Gooden.
Mighty Mouse out in the break. Easy too. Creighton right now up 8-4 to Xavier.
Cincinnati, where Creighton has the early advantage. And Justin Patton, the 7-footer. Not many 7-footers can play like this out here.
Well, big man understanding how to play the pick and roll. Justin Patton is excellent at this. Able to get out in front instead of hanging behind the screen. But watch his action when he gets up. The poke right there. And that's with his inside hand. So that's instinctive from Justin Patton to be able to reach with his inside hand right there and get the steal, and then 2-3 dribbles and finish in transition.
You see some guard skills in him, and you see it on the offensive end too, where he's really comfortable outside, really comfortable facing up. And it makes sense when you know that he was only 6'2" when he was a freshman in high school and was a guard.
Well, he reminds me a lot of Marcus Camby from the perspective he's long, he's athletic, he can shoot the basketball, but having that guard skill set and mentality allows him to play the position a little bit differently.
Watson trying to tuck one in there, was knocked out of bounds. With 15 to shoot, we take a look at our SoFi keys to success, offering smart solutions to help you reach your financial goals.
All right, if Creighton can shoot the basketball, they're down in the Big East by about 10 percentage points from 40 to 30. This spreads the offense, and transition defense for Xavier is going to be very important against this fast-paced Creighton team.
Already seen a couple of fast break buckets. Here Cole Huff buries a three, to your point. Trying to get him going from outside.
I love the elevation. I know he had issues with his knee, but right there able to get up on top of his jump and bury that three.
Here's Makira penetrating, had it ripped away. Creighton, we mentioned Xavier the week that they've had, playing their third top 12 team. Creighton played a top 25 team in Butler on Wednesday and beat them by 11. But then Saturday had a Division II opponent to tune up for this one. Here's Edmund Sumner, the game for the first time, off of the bench for the first time today. O'Mara backs in on Patton. Sean O'Mara up and under, Black from behind. Able to get it back, then it's taken away. Patton with a lead pass. Here's Thomas, and it's stripped by Makira. Back and forth they go. Sumner in transition. And they'll set up the offense.
Look at that, excellent. Once again, he got the foul. Patton got the foul, Joe, but he jumped out and didn't allow Trayvon Blewett to turn the corner.
First foul on him.
I mean, excellent position right here, but it's just, actually, that was really good instinctive movement by Trayvon Blewett to kind of lower the shoulder and initiate the contact, because Justin Patton was in the right position. But a smart on Blewett's part.
Patton sits down, replaced by the veteran Toby Heckner inside. Edmund Sumner scoreless in the first half in the loss at Butler Saturday. Nice find from Blewett, and O'Mara finishes it off.
And that's the playmaking ability of Trayvon Blewett. Get to the basket. If you don't have a play, make one for your teammates.
Snapping a 4.5-minute drought for the Musketeers. Watson knifes one through for Huff. Short on this one. Heckner the offensive rebound, and he puts it back in.
Offensive rebound. Heckner able to sneak inside. You can pick up a couple of those.
Offensive foul on Blewett.
You know what, Joe? He may have gotten an offensive foul, but I like the intent, which was to get on the post, to establish some kind of position. Don't settle for a jump shot. Now, that was a heck of an acting job that time by Foster, but I like the intent part of it by Trayvon Blewett.
As opposed to trying to shoot your way out of the slump.
Well, also, too, step back. But on the last play, don't allow that you're not making shots to say that you're playing bad. You can rebound, play defense, as you saw with the assist. There's other ways that you can contribute to your team being successful other than putting the ball in the basket.
A continuation of the second half on Saturday for Xavier. They've already turned it over 6 times. They had 16 turnovers on Saturday. Heckner can shoot it from out there. Instead gives it up to Thomas. Now Watson bounces one for Huff at the rim.
I mean, that's such a tough pass to get in there and snuck it in. But how about Huff shielding off J.P. McCure inside in order to catch that pass?
Showing off the versatility of his game. He's already got a 3. That one's lodged in there. And nothing going Xavier's way so far.
But take a look right inside. Look at the pass. Sealed just enough. And because Creighton spreads you out with shooters, J.P. McCure had to play on the high side of Cole Huff and protect the corner. That's how he was able to get that pass inside.
That's his 3rd assist. Averages 9 a game. Again, that leads the country. Gaston gets it inside against Hegner. Now with a face-up. Backs in on him. The kick. Sumner, the 3. Banks it in.
Doesn't matter. Any way it can go in. You didn't score, didn't have success. So what? Bank it in.
Poor transition defense, and then Thomas airballs the 3. Sumner fouled by Huff, and not a bad foul in this case.
Yeah. Now you take it any way you can get it. If it's the top of the key, and look, Edmund Sumner is laughing about it, but at the same time, you're like, it's like me putting, okay?
Yeah.
I don't care how it gets in the hole. As long as it gets there and I can get a par birdie, I walk away, mark it on the scorecard.
And a little bit of extra juice for him coming off of the bench for the first time today. And a big hand from Miles Davis as he checks in his 3rd game back from suspension, but his first one here at the Cintas Center.
It has to feel good for Miles. Been on the road the last couple games, so you weren't going to hear too many cheers when you came in the game. So let's see if that has a positive effect on how he plays.
Sumner kicks to him. Now Davis puts it on the deck, gets to the rim, and gets fouled. He was facing a pair of misdemeanor charges stemming from an incident with his ex-girlfriend. His legal issues have been resolved. He was suspended for the first 15 games. Came back for Villanova last week. Played the game Saturday at Butler. And now his first home game. But it's not as simple as you get him back. You get a guy back that's averaged double figures back-to-back seasons, and he's himself. It's going to take some time.
The problem is the game seems much faster. Even though when you're playing in custom, it's slow. You see it in slow motion. When you haven't played in a while, everything is moving fast. Your timing is off. Your conditioning is off. So it's going to throw everything else out. And the maturity part of how he plays on that particular play, he missed 2 free throws, but immediately he tried to put the ball on the deck and get to the basket instead of settling for a jump shot.
Davion Mintz, some early minutes for the Blue Jays. 1 in blue has the ball here. Hegner wants it with a mismatch against Sumner. Instead, Mintz hard to the rim. One of the guys that got some minutes Saturday against D2 Truman State.
Hey, listen, that's straight one-on-one. And he won the battle with Sumner that time of just getting right around it, but no backside help from Xavier's defense.
And now a careless turnover between Bernard and Sumner.
Mintz, one-on-one. Whoop, there you go. Easy basket inside. Creighton in control.
Just outside the top 10 at 13. Xavier, number 22, in the poll just released this morning.
You can get used to that right there, graphic changing. Because with conference play and really not a dominant team, you know, it matters at the end of the year, of course. But it's good to look at, especially when you have a couple teams in the top 10 out of the Big East.
So Xavier comes into this game at 13-4. You know, 3 of those 4 losses have come against the RPI top 5. You know, so they don't really have a key win so far, but they've lost to number 1 in the RPI in Baylor. They've lost to number 4 in the number 2 in the RPI in Nova, and then number 5 in the RPI in Butler. Rashid Gaston was left alone. Instead gave it up. Blewett turns it over. Foster anticipated. Davis fouled him.
And again, the cross-court pass decision-making. That's the 8th turnover. And most coaches look for if we can get a point per turnover, hit down in transition, where you have 7 points out of the 17 for Creighton coming off of these turnovers. So you wonder why you're not playing well against top-tier teams. Well, top-tier teams value the basketball, decision-making with your shot selection, and rebounding, things that have hampered and hurt Xavier in these big games.
And you said it, those 8 turnovers leading to 7 points so far. Creighton trying to add on to that total. Here's Zierden off of the bench. Back to Watson. Now Foster. He rises. And a little bit short. Gaston has the board. Miles Davis bounces one for Gaston. Has it on the block against Patton. Over the top. Bakira comes flying in and tipped it to Kaiser Gates, who's able to finish.
Gates should thank Bakira for the outstanding hustle to keep the ball alive.
Watson cut off by Sumner. Now it's Patton, and he has it ripped away. Xavier basketball as Zierden trying to recover it on the baseline.
Again, doing the little things to keep the possession alive. Maybe you don't score the basketball, but JP underneath, just that little carom of the basketball was able to fall right into the hands of Kaiser Gates.
He's a gnat.
Well, he is, and that's how he should be. He plays with so much energy. Again, I think we get caught up into making shots, but he can make those type of game-changing plays, possession plays, anytime he's on the court.
Having a breakout season for Xavier, scoring 14.5 per game and impacting the game in other ways too. Sumner kicks. Davis rises. Way too strong with a three, and he's clearly a little bit amped up in his first home game. Gates tries it. And an offensive foul. They get Watson, who is slow getting up. He's grabbing that left knee in front of the Xavier bench.
Hey, you don't want to see that.
Chris Mack just motioned Coach McDermott down and said,
let's see if they bang
okay.
knees. Yeah, bang knees right there with Edmund Sumner. And it's, you know, one of those things that you can hopefully walk off, but you're going to feel it. And he's grabbing on the inside of it. It's such a piercing pain when you have the bone-on-bone contact, especially with an opponent coming at you from the side right into the knee.
The senior from West Philadelphia, transferred in from Boston U prior to last season. Not able to put much weight on that left leg.
And sometimes you just need to walk it off a little bit, get through that initial pain. It feels a little unstable at first, and he'll know if he can go.
You know, as good as Marcus Foster's been, scoring the ball as much as Justin Patton's developed, Mo Watson is the guy that makes this offense what it is.
Well, you can't substitute his ability to control tempo and pace, but also decision making. He's a coach on the floor, and when you lose a guy like that, you can replace him with a body, but what you don't do, you don't replace him with his mind.
So Mo Watson to the bench at the 9:40 mark. Mark that down in a 6-point game. We saw him get into foul trouble in the Villanova game, the one loss that Creighton has this year. And that was when Villanova went on a big run in the first half of that game. See if Xavier can take advantage. Immediately they go inside to Jones for the slam. Foster back the other way. Around and out. Sumner has it and pushes for the Musketeers. Tries to go by Mintz and is fouled. It's already the second on Davion Mintz, who figures to see more minutes if Watson continues to feel pain in that left leg.
And how about the play drawn up? It wasn't an official timeout because of the injury. But again, Coach Mack able to draw up the play. And then Xavier, the players, able attention to detail, execute that play and get a much-needed basket.
And now Tyreek Jones hobbled as he goes to the Xavier bench. Sean O'Mara comes in for him. Thomas sticks with Makira, curls into the lane and has that shot altered by Patton. Here's Foster on the push. The kick. Thomas the three. And some open looks not falling right now for the Blue Jays.
Yeah, good shot, though. That's what you want in transition.
Lewitt penetrates, adjusted midair and dropped it in to bring Xavier back to within 2. Sumner defending the 7-footer. Patton got him to go up and then under, but it was rejected. Sumner over the top for O'Mara. Gates finds it and ties it. It's an 8-0 Xavier run. Run, and Creighton right now playing without Mo Watson out with a knee injury.
But Trayvon Blewett right here, the ability for him to put it on the deck and get to the basket. This is something the coaching staff has been preaching to Trayvon. Don't just settle for your jump shot. Put it on the deck, get inside, force contact, and when you have it, make sure you finish.
Blewett shooting just 20% over the last 4. Watson limps his way back into the game, and what a sign that is for Creighton and its fans.
Well, you know, if he can walk on it, he wasn't going to allow that to keep him out of this game with this atmosphere. The question is his ability to be able to not only explode north and south, but his ability to move east and west to push off of that knee. So let's keep an eye out on that.
Guy that Coach McDermott challenged this offseason despite being an all-conference player last year. They're going to take a look at the clock right now. It didn't start when that ball was inbounded. Coach McDermott said, be even better. Be an even better distributor, even though he was #1 in the conference in assists. And Mo Watson said that it came hand in hand with being a better leader. Having an extra year in the program gave him a chance to take on that role. So they're going to put the clock back at 8:20. I'm not sure exactly why they put it at 8:20.
Yeah, I don't know. But
hey, 13 seconds free basketball. This matchup, we're fine with that.
That's right. And to your point about Watson, the conversation challenging, coaches have to do that even with their best players to ensure they're motivated and ready to go.
He finds Marcus Foster, Creighton's leading scorer. The first-year transfer from Kansas State, averaging more than 18 per game. That's 3rd in the conference.
Yeah, tough guard, but the ability to go one-on-one and pull up for that jump shot had Makira back on his heels.
Here's Blewett. Gaston rolls to the rim. Blewett finds Kaiser Gates. Gaston the offensive board. Up in traffic to tie it.
Yeah, that's his big boy game. Pulling strength inside. And once Gaston was able to put his shoulders and hip, Hegner didn't have a chance.
First bucket for Gaston, the Norfolk State transfer. Watson given room and an air ball. Xavier looking for its first lead since the 18:45 mark, and a foul on Hegner will give Gaston a chance to provide it at the foul line.
Inside, may not be the tallest, but Rasheed Gaston inside able to use his man strength to get inside of Hegner and then finish through the contact.
First lead for Xavier since it was 4-2.
And you love the fight. Very easy for the Xavier team when they get down in situations. You can tell their body language changes. They kind of separate and spread apart and start to do things individually. But during this run, it's been a team thing, and more importantly, they value the basketball, Joe, not turning it over.
And a foul on that second free throw. The free throw will count, and Justin Patton just picked up his second foul. And so Xavier not only gets the free throw, but they'll get the ball. Maybe most importantly of all those notes is that Patton now has 2.
And let's see the inside position Well, yeah, he wrapped around Trayvon because Trayvon Blewett tried to go around the backside, and Patton with his outside arm. I mean, smart play by Trayvon Blewett to try to get around instead of going in front. Patton reacted with backward grab of the arm.
Doesn't help that when Patton puts his arms out, his elbow is at Blewett's face.
Yeah,
it's not like Blewett's small.
Yeah, that doesn't help. Unfortunate, but when you have an experienced team like Creighton, you got to figure out ways. It's not like Xavier is a bigger team with Patton out of the game. Size-wise, you still match up, but the bulk, the strength now goes towards Gaston inside.
Blewett misses the front end of the 1-and-1. That was the 7th foul on Creighton. Foster going baseline, got cut off on Watson. Into the lane. Outside Foster. Now Watson again. Oh, Watson, quick step. He was fouled and he finished. A chance to put Creighton back in front. But that knee hurting again. That's his first personal foul, 14th foul for the Musketeers. The same knee that he had the knee-on-knee collision minutes ago.
But this one was on the plant and finished right there. You see? And before the play, limping a little bit without the basketball, favoring it. At that time, it was the weight coming down on the plant leg that he felt the brunt of that. And he's given it his all, but at what point as a trainer do you save him from himself from making it worse is the question.
And it looked like there was some buckling when he came down on that left leg.
More games to play. I know this is a big one. As a player, as a competitor, you never want to get up. You don't want to say you're injured. You don't want to say you're hurt. But the long-term health of Maurice Watson is more important than what's happening this afternoon.
So they continue to take a look at their senior leader, Mo Watson. They will step aside, come back in 30 seconds. Tied at 21, but a bit of a somber tone in here as Mo Watson is carried off of the floor by 2 of his teammates.
Unfortunate sight, but a decision had to be made. If he's not healthy, what's the price of him damaging the knee even more?
Kyrie Thomas takes the foul shot. That was 0-2 Watson and puts the Blue Jays back in front. Right now, no true point guard on the floor. Zierden, Thomas, and Foster, the guards out there for Creighton. Kaiser Gates rolls to the bucket, gets blocked from behind by Huff, and then Hegner's fouled by Gaston.
At that time, I don't even know, Joe, if there was a block. I believe Kaiser Gates on the layup, and let's take a look and see. He may have laid it up a little too hard right there, you see? And those are the plays that, you know, the coaching staff talked to Kaiser about not just being a jump shooter, but when you get inside, don't be afraid of the contact, finish inside.
About 80% of his shots this year have come from 3, so he's not entirely comfortable in there, and it showed on that play. Creighton ranked number 7, the highest rank in program history, trying to move to 18-1. Hegner's called for the offensive foul. It's his 2nd.
And what a play and anticipation that time by J.P. McCure, not staying attached to his man on the weak side. He was able to slide across and come right into the play, set his feet outside of the restricted area, and grab the charge.
Blewett comes back in for Xavier as Gates sits down. Xavier 0-2 this week. Losses against a pair of top 15 teams on the road, at Villanova and at Butler. And now facing a top 12 team for the 3rd time in the last 7 days. secure, wants it against Xavier. Gets it with his back to the bucket. Now puts it on the deck. Back in on Xavier. Shuffled his feet, and that's a walk. No turnover issues for Chris Mack's team. Turned it over 16 times Saturday. They've already turned it over 9 times in this one. Here's Foster halfway down and out.
And what you see with watching out of the game, the tempo and pace will slow down for Creighton.
Sumner, nice find, and Gaston reverses it up and in to put Xavier in front. Sumner continues to defend the 5, and Hegner throws up a wild hook shot cleared by Gaston. Now Sumner on the other end with a crossover on Thomas, who sticks with him, so it's Blewett. Thomas takes it to quiet the crowd.
He hits so many baskets when they need it. Thomas is like kind of that quiet, unsung hero that kind of just does all the little things. And right there, when Creighton needed a basket, Thomas came through.
Might be the quietest 12 per game in the Big East.
You look at the stat sheet, you're like, he's all over the place.
Malcolm Bernard called for the offensive foul.
You know, in Edmund Sumner's defense, he's not a natural point guard, but when he's able to make plays like this, he's so effective. Again, that didn't seem like a lot, but that dribble penetration to get inside and then make the correct play, the pass on time, on target, so Trayvon could just go into his move.
That is 10 Xavier turnovers, and we still have 4.5 left in this first half. A lob for Foster, went up top to get it.
And if you don't know how athletic Foster is, I've seen some plays, that's an example, but that's a well-executed play, and Hegner able to throw it even probably a little higher than he thought, but Foster able to get it.
It's as if he levitated. To go up and get it and throw it down. Now Sumner's reverse won't go. Huff has the rebound. Huff got Blewett the flyby and took it to the rim.
Poor closeout that time by Trayvon Blewett.
7 for Kohlhoff now. The lead back to 3 for Creighton. And a foul underneath. Offensive foul on Gaston. That is his second. That is the 11th Xavier turnover in a game that's gone back and forth. Up top went Marcus Foster. Creighton by 3. In this top 25 matchup. Part of that Big East marathon. And perhaps the best game of the day, pitting the Blue Jays and the Musketeers. If you're just joining us, Mo Watson left the game with an apparent left knee injury. Had a knee-to-knee collision at one point. Came back in the game after limping off. And then when coming down from finishing a layup, landed on that same leg. It seemed to buckle on him and was carried off of the floor. So Creighton playing without their leader, their point guard. Here's Foster. He rises from 18, buries the jump shot, and has a game-high 8.
And the discipline of Creighton in their half-court sets are where they're going to have to be, because they're not going to get out in transition without Watson. So now it's a premium on executing when you have a chance in half-court.
Malcolm Bernard's been playing well lately for Xavier. Finds O'Mara. He throws it up there, no. Hegner drives, gives up his dribble in the lane, and too short over O'Mara.
Great defense that time, walling up by O'Mara, forcing Hegner to miss over the top.
It's Blewett snapping an 8-0 Creighton run. He's looked a little bit more in rhythm today.
He has, but that's the shot he was working on and shoot around, but also before the game, kind of getting to that 15-foot area, feeling comfortable, and just letting it go.
Shooting only 20% over the last 4 games. This is a guy that's led the team in scoring all 3 seasons he's been here. Thomas posting up Sumner. Tyree Thomas had it knocked away. Miles Davis has the steal. Here's Blewett for three. Force that one up there. Foster left alone. Poor transition defense, and Xavier survives it.
Got away with it. Somebody has to talk when that shot goes up. When you turn it over, you need to have two guys back.
Creighton just 1 for 8 from three. Xavier not much better, 1 for 7. O'Mara wants the ball on the block and gets it.
Excellent pass that time by Sumner. That time, Hegner just bailed O'Mara out and allowed that easy entry pass.
Thomas, Hegner through contact, able to finish.
And Hegner not known to be kind of a post player, but the ability to catch and then go right back up through traffic and finish shows that he is capable of scoring right down in the paint.
He's 6'10", but he's hit more than 100 threes in his career. Forced to play inside right now because Justin Patton has 2 fouls. O'Mara whistled for an offensive foul. There have been a ton of those, and they've helped contribute to a dozen Xavier turnovers in the first half.
Well, both teams do an excellent job of backline defense, getting their feet set, and then trying to take the charge. And that time, Hegner was right there, and just sometimes because you're bigger, stronger, and you initiate contact, it seems a little bit more exorbitant, but that's what happened in that particular case, and Hegner able to draw the offensive foul.
Season high for a game, Jim, in turnovers for Xavier is 18. They have 12 right now. That's after 16 Saturday against Butler. Inside of a minute in this first half. It's top 25 matchup at the Cintas Center. Clock down to 5 to shoot. Huff pestered by Gates. Cole Huff looking for a glimmer of hope and tosses it up there off the iron. Shot clock turned off. Xavier can have the final shot of the half if it wants it. Timeout. 19.4. Chris Mack will draw something up. His team within 3.
Double digits early, but what's worked best is movement around the perimeter into a pick and roll, and allowing Edmond Sumner to create an opportunity for himself or his teammates.
Tim Sumner's hands off of the bench today for the first time. He has 3 points. Came when he banked in a 3. Get it in motion with 10 left. Blewett and Gates over to screen. Sumner kicks it. Gates shoots it. Off the mark. Thomas has it with 2. He'll hoist it up there. Short. And his first half comes to a close. The 7th top 25 matchup in this building's history. Xavier's never lost one of those matchups between ranked opponents, but will have to come from behind to stay perfect in those games. We'll get you to Mike Hill, Steve Lavin, and Donnie Marshall for the Jeep Grand Cherokee halftime report right after this. His left knee injury, which we could have figured out ourselves, but no official confirmation beyond that. He came out on crutches, so don't. Isaiah by Kyrie Thomas. He then turns it over into the backcourt. You know, we talk about the 12 Xavier turnovers. Creighton wasn't particularly clean either. That's their 9th.
Yeah, they weren't, but Xavier wasn't able to convert those turnovers into points and opportunities. That's the difference between the two teams. That's why you see a slight edge in points, 2 hedging towards Creighton.
Creighton ranked number 7. He then turns it over into the backcourt. No, we talked 12 Xavier. Creighton wasn't particularly clean either. That's their 9th.
They weren't, but Xavier was able to convert those turnovers into points and opportunities. That's the difference between the two teams. That's why you see a slight edge in points, 2 hedging towards Creighton.
Creighton ranked number 7, the highest ranking ever, sitting at 17-1. Xavier pushes, kicks, Thomas from the 3. And a foul on the rebound, Patton, that's number 3.
And Patton has to be smart as a freshman, so he's going to make some of those mistakes right there in transition. Didn't have a chance to get this rebound. Trayvon Blewett had a chance to get in. Sometimes go in order to pick up one of those fouls. That shows a lot of confidence in young men.
Xavier faced next team this week. Losses at Villanova and Butler. Trying to bounce back on its own floor. They won 15 in a row. Rashid Gaston begins the second half score.
And how smart was that, knowing that Justin Patton couldn't be as aggressive defensively, and has to initiate the contact to create his space, he can get that jump ball.
Lead is offensive lead with 8 points and his near double, 7 rebounds. Marcus Foster, so strong.
And I love that strategy because not only is he stronger than Edmund Sumner, he's more experienced once he gets in the block, and he's able to finish right over the top.
First player to double figures. Big East's 3rd leading scorer on the year, more than 18 per game. He's got 10 today. Makira way outside. Got it. Huff takes it to the rim against Blewett. The tip follow from Patton. Only 4 for him. And again, playing with the 3 fouls, staying in the game. There's a touch foul on Huff, his second.
A positive note on that. The move by Cole Huff, the explosion to get by Blewett, shows signs that knee maybe is getting better. Okay, just a little thing by getting by. He wasn't doing that earlier in the year. Gaston, this time, you have to be aware. I know you wanted to come over just in case of help in the drive, but where's Pat? Where's he at on the backside? That time, poor job of blocking out.
You mentioned Huff's knee. He had a knee surgery this offseason. It was his 3rd knee surgery. Bernard out of the corner from a tough angle gets fouled and will shoot 3. Foster bailed him out. Turned into a free throw shooting contest Saturday, and Xavier's lost at Butler. 77 free throws in that game. A little cleaner in that regard in this one.
But a good thing about Creighton is that they play defense aggressively without fouling. And a little adjustment in the second half. How about Edmund Sumner coming out starting the second half?
Xavier, though, 2 for 8 at the foul line, Jim.
Mental. It's funny how you can be a pretty good free throw shooter. Your team is struggling a little bit, and it kind of spreads over to yourself.
Just 1 of 3 for Bernard.
And to win a game like this, you have in these little things, making free throws, cutting down on turnovers, getting into 50-50 balls when you want to beat a top-tier team.
Hoff rises over Blewett. Gaston now 8 points, 8 rebounds. Sumner straight away. And it's tracked down by Gaston. Rebound number 9 and a fresh possession for Xavier. Here's Bernard with a baseline drive, bounces underneath, and Huff called for his 3rd foul. Huff and Patton, both with 3. And already the 5th foul on Creighton. Although the way Xavier's shooting at the line, you don't worry too much.
Well, you don't, but if you're Xavier, you want to continue to put the pressure on Creighton to guard you off the dribble, get inside, and see if you can get into the penalty early.
Don't give Makira too much room.
It was just me. Did you think he was going up?
I saw the gears turn.
Yeah.
Bernard through contact to put Xavier in front. His first field goal of the game. And Xavier has its first lead of the second half. Hegner, more than 100 threes in his career, and adds to that total to seesaw the lead back to the Blue Jays.
Well, we know what he can do well. That time, just an excellent relocation and pop into a rhythm jump shot.
And now a steal for Foster as Thomas ahead of the pack. Sumner hustles back to block it out of bounds.
The ability not to hang your head, you turn the basketball over, you're not in proper position, but because he's such a superior athlete, the ability to now to come from behind and negate which would look like an easy 2 for Thomas shows you the athleticism and the hustle by Edmund Sumner.
No Patton, no Watson. On the floor right now for Creighton. So it's Foster slashing through the defense. Hegner the offensive rebound, and 5 in a row for Creighton. Nine for Hegner total today. Bernard pops. Well short. Got his own miss. Now Makira from the corner. Thought about it again.
Listen, he's going to let one of them fly.
Yeah.
I guarantee you that.
Blewett turn in the corner, drawing the contact and finishing. And a chance at 3 for Trayvon Blewett on Hegner's 3rd foul. How good is this top 25 matchup? Number 7 Creighton, number 22 Xavier. And a 2-point game from Cincinnati. Back in a moment.
We have a situation.
Hey, guys.
And her name is Trish Murtaugh.
Trish is his attorney.
An underworld bust.
And that's how you win the war on drugs.
His husband.
He is guilty.
Against wife.
He's innocent.
Because he says he is? That's a pretty good reason.
Lethal weapon.
Especially if you come down the stretch of the game where those free throws are so critical. Kind of block it out of your mind and get up there, step up, and knock them in.
Foster loves that step back shot, but left this one short. A foul on the rebound goes on Xavier. They give Blewett for his 2nd. And that is, I mentioned the 5 fouls on Creighton. And the reason I mentioned that is because there were none on Xavier in this half until that one. Foster with a mismatch, trying to take advantage, and with a pull-up jumper, hits it against O'Mara.
Well, also Foster recognized, one, he had O'Mara on him. Also, the lane was crowded. So instead of trying to force the situation in action, just pulled up for a nice little 15-foot jump shot.
Leads all scorers with 12 now. Here's Blewett in traffic and fouled by Hegner. That is number 3 on Hegner. Make that 4, beg your pardon, on Hegner. So 4 on Hegner. Huff and Patton both with 3. Greg McDermott's team running into some issues, having to go deep onto that bench. Martin Krompol, seldom used freshman, ready to come in.
Well, you think about it. We talked about times Villanova not going deep into their bench, maybe only 7 deep. Really, this Creighton team plays about 7 deep. So now they're digging down a little bit further into their pool of bodies to bring guys that haven't played a lot. But as a player, that's why you always have to be ready, because you never know what's going to happen throughout the course of a game where your name may be called.
Today, they're forced to go 10 deep at this point. We've seen Mintz get some minutes. Harrell is in the game right now, and so is Krompol. Zach Hansen, by the way, normally one of their top big men, getting closer to coming back from a bad injury suffered earlier this year. Thomas with a quick take, drawing the bump, and 2 shots coming.
But such patience. Thomas that time waited for the play to develop. The shoulder and left leg button every time.
On the 2nd great free throw of the day. Stayed in town. They went to high school. Just the fouls over again, and with number 4, Pat both up and 3.
And the advantage of Creighton without their best playmakers, you see their ability to execute in half court, but still be able to get some bad shots to the basket.
Chris on his team's bench right here as well. 2 players from bench in now. Here's good. It's tail to the 3rd. And Wilson Augusta coming back in. Sumner enters the game as replacing.
And all Mills can't be at the effort that time of not giving it. He'll live with maybe going over the back. This situation right now, early 2nd half.
Augusta coming back in. Sumner enters the game as well, replacing.
And all Mills not happy. This man can't be mad at the effort that time of not giving up. He'll live going over in this situation right now, early 2nd half.
Great Thomas gets it out. Now he's kicked on the entry box. Foster. And our ball is still 13-4. That's the thing. On the way to the free throw line.
Yeah, Foster saying that Trevor Blewett pushed off first. Then the elbow came a little after to Foster. Blewett getting the benefit of the doubt because he has been pressed offensively, and that's what happens. You know, so when you form the issue, get those kind of calls, maybe quickly but it goes in your favor.
So Ted Williams went to I don't swing it. Sounds right.
That's right.
So, but free throw's good, but in a 2-1 game.
First, Xavier, blades, sharp and precise. Then Gillette shielding, lubrication before and after. And also, use superficial for and blades. Shields, while you shave. Pro Shield Chill from Gillette. Best a man can get. Pro Shield. Available with, without chill.
You gotta go hard, right, stop playing. That's precisely for training game. The count exercise pounds, feel me?
I feel you.
Now you just sell the training equipment. It's my business.
Yes, it's.
I'm working. Trust me, I'm
Their day, nothing like buzzer cover. Past what they used to be. Roads nowhere to be found. Clean.
Every stood with me when I was too busy with the kids to get ropes. Literally, estimate was snap a photo of the dash and well, which company had that? Where's your brother? Hey,
You leave worried when Liberty stands with you.
Big East Champion Trophy for the conference this year, and it's here in Cincinnati today at the Cincinnati Center. Fans are able to pictures to post to social media. Those are the MAC girls. Chris Plaster, the X in front of the title. Rest of the day on FS1. Bowman St. John, and then top ranked Villanova, freshman to the top play again after Big State taking Hall. And Georgetown finishing up the day. Keep it here. Walker and Madison Square Garden, the longest conference to do. Nothing
was kind of the open team hall playing TV. What conference was he had? That's what you never know what's in the tournament.
Here to have ball on in this occasion with Foster. Speaking of dead horse, but worth reminding you that we're not out with the injury.
Yeah, but Jared talked about it. Once you can't bring back two hands, do that. So think about it.
Miles still looking for his first major games back from school. Foster driving on boat. He's got his hand up the same lane. Stepped out of base end.
Both teams active deflections, disrupting the offense. Time Davis said, "Oh, it's out of bounds."
Summer nearly was up with the steal on a very casual impact pass.
Yeah, and Coach makes a saying, it's like you love if you let it team, he gets live in there, especially on Sumner. You won't get away with it.
Toss. Xavier hits his first shot of the day.
Time shot one.
That's a good check career. Injuries are all bench this year. 8-3 spots on the 3 of his own. Foster get fourth week on. He's up first time. Foster for the game by 15, Jim.
Hey, that's back and forth. Who's going to see stops, but the Pure Bowl CT. Now get it.
Gates for the pass fake. Now actually passes, and it's Yassir Crumpole. Crumple's defense in there because Patton's out of the fouls.
But that's simple of Gates not being comfortable. That's how he tried to the lane. He could have fit it.
Number 2 strong Foster this time. Here's Under. Sees a lane. A text. Cross contact on 2. Oh, beg your pardon. They've caught offensive foul. Under hits his end.
Put your test right here at Xavier. This is like the best. House Davis. Get a little closer. Opposite. Guys, Gates. Southboard. Not in front of Max. To the body better. Get me free.
It's the same, but depending on the day of the week, a price. Sunlight is fixing things geeks for $7.99 every day of the week.
You're spending more and more time sitting at work. You can't move every desk. It instantly converts your desk to a highly adjustable standing desk. Atlas raises and lowers and transforms yours into a healthier, more productive environment.
This dance so I know my job, and that makes me very happy.
Veridesk is fully assembled. Include free 30-day money back fee and free. Go to veridesk.com. That's VARIDesk. Veridesk. Work elevated.
Some things are simply impossible to ignore. The strikingly designed Lexus NX and Hybrid, the SUV that pairs to beyond ability. This is pursuit of perfection.
Like on Day Gladiators. They ride their two-wheel chair, the checkered flag. Monster Energy Supercross for Saturday at 10 Eastern on FS1.
I've never been this excited. Praise.com. We combine wholesome ingredients with the flavors we all love to create over 100 like these. We'd love to send Graze sample box free. Just go to Graze.com, enter the code V40, and they'll mail your free box to your home or office. Thousands of Grazers already in love with Arnie Max. Graze.com for your first box free.
Fundamental basketball will win this game. Defense, shot goes up, we gotta find box, and then we gotta go to the dark play. Don't be smart enough. And then down.
Simple. I mean, we as basketball players tend to make the game hard. Zero capacity, trying to play defense. Shoot the ball, win open, the little things, fundamental things. That's what Coach McDermott is saying. We're going to stick true to who we are. And on the defensive end of the court, let's be solid defense, foul, and allowing Xavier to free throw line.
Xavier shot 6 free throws. Creighton's only shot 3. The issue for the Musk 13 to foul. They trailed by 5, about 43 to go. Creighton, the number 7 highest they've ever been, ranked 17-1. Never before had they started the season 18-1. Xavier trying to beat a top team for the first time in the first ride this week. There's Patton back in the second run. Some screening for something. Cassie got it, but through contact, and Patton did well. Free fronts not to pick up a 4. Time is out of control. What's a block on Malcolm Bernard? The crowd here at the Cincinnati Center can't leave.
Bernard gets over the position. That's a tough call because I thought Malcolm Bernard anticipated that. Now, Coach Mack getting teed up. There's a lot of reasons why Malcolm Bernard may have beaten
Tony Diaz from about 70 feet away. Looked right at him. Team off that puts Xavier, who's 12 of 13 on the year at the last 2. It has been a frustrating season for Chris Mack.
And a lot of the showing even on that right there. He's upset the official, but also talked about the frustration.
Yeah, it's cumulative. So, kind of happy for him to watch the way the team has been. Edwards has been high. We saw it against Butler last weekend. They held Butler to 25 in the first half. Butler exploded for 58 in the second half.
So it's different if you don't have talent. Then you got to kind of manufacture ways to win game. But this is as talented as anybody otherwise. But they end up
now just children again on any given day. Saturday center.
Again, once again, excellent execution offensively. The defense on top, you attack you off the dribble. Well, that's good time.
A 6-0 run for Creighton in the Liberty Center. Bernard telling to take the bullet. He knew that he left it short. Bernard able to turn down the mix. Feeling Xavier needs the bucket. Akira goes by Zerden, switches hands, the layup will go. Gaston for shoot 2.
I'll tell you what, Sure, turning down that shot, but a while ago. But at the basket, a little better by basket. You can see it right there, but it's him. He's able to get up underneath, push the box out. Ariel gets the rebound, savvy move by a veteran player.
Got one more free throw coming. First only season action is Xavier for Sheep Gasson. He's being a veteran. He's a big time player at Norfolk State and BF. And Ortiz host for Xavier. Oh, and a foul on Wood on the restart. And that is his foul. Xavier both teams bonus now.
Straight lines. You know, I see the little rapid arm, I think, in that situation, because there is a lot of physical contact. You kind of let that one head towards either side. Either side had the advantage. You can let that one go.
First missed free throw today for Creighton. 9-point game inside of 8 left in this top 25 matchup. Xavier's now top 25 matchup. That's got in there deep and picked up the fourth on back. Both with 4 now for Creighton. Fouls becoming an issue on both sides. And one game with 7:50 left. And the emotion filling over. Here's Thompson.
What do I sell? I sell glory and money. Instant immortality. Free over time and space. And the occasional nightmare. What I sell is life.
If they just execute, they're going to get high-quality shots.
Sheep Gaston will be at the foul line here out of the timeout. Xavier, not a very good free throw shooting team on the year. They're 8th in the Big East, but even worse today. 9 of 17 as a team. Gaston with a chance to get a double-double eventually.
It's almost like you're shooting yourself in the foot. You put yourself in a position to get points on the board, but you're leaving yourself a little short by not converting.
Wow. He's missed 4 in a row in the last couple of minutes, and it remains a 9-point deficit, the largest Xavier's faced. You wonder about Xavier's legs at this point, facing a third top 12 team this week. 48 hours removed from a grinder at Butler. Here's Cole Huff. And a whistle underneath, and a foul on Xavier. That is number 8, so it'll be a 1-1.
Well, you talked about, you wonder about Xavier's legs. I'm more worried about their mind state, their mindset down the stretch of the game when things are sputtering a little bit. And right here, Gaston inside, and 2, that's even Kaiser Gates in there. And again, that's part of the mental discipline of staying solid. You're in position. You don't really have to be that aggressive to create a foul. Now you're giving your opponent an opportunity to get to the free throw line.
Well, Xavier's gone 9 of 19 at the line. Creighton is 7 of 8, has its largest lead at 11. This is one of the toughest buildings in the country to play in. Xavier's won 15 in a row here, 24 of the last 25. Creighton trying to become the first program to win 3 times all-time here. Sumner turns the corner and gets fouled with the finish. It's been a quiet day for number 4. They'll need him down the stretch to have a shot.
But when he's going downhill, off the curl, a tight curl, excellent executed offensive play, you're not going to stop him. I mean, in that time, I love the savviness of initiating the contact.
And a made free throw.
There we go. Now you just got to get a stop if you're Xavier. You have to get defensive stops.
Sumner has 6. Back to single digits with 7+ left. Huff goes baseline on Gates. It's all the way to the block and has it knocked away. Blewett got his hand on it. Trayvon Blewett lost his footing and got bailed out by that whistle.
Yeah.
2 shots coming for Trayvon Blewett and a foul on Kyrie Thomas.
Yeah, you got yourself a gift. Now cash it in. You know,
right.
Take advantage of it. Get your defense set. Again, you got the stop you wanted. Buckle in and get another one if you're Xavier.
Wow.
You got to stay on the line. That time Trayvon, before the ball was even to the rim, he was walking towards the paint.
1 of 2 on that trip.
There you go.
Xavier's missed 8 free throws in the second half alone. We saw a moment ago 11 of 22 overall today. Foster fires away. Nowhere close. Sometimes he's prone to do that, firing up shots early in the shot clock. Sumner. Gaston the offensive rebound. His try won't go. Thomas pulls it out of there. On the push for the Blue Jays. Kyrie Thomas got away with a push-off.
Yes.
Didn't matter. Sumner has it in his hands. Finds Blewett in transition. Spinning on Zierden. Over the top, no. Gaston in traffic lays it in. He's got a double-double. And it's a 5-point game with 5:40 left. Here's Foster. McKira went straight up. No call. Now Xavier with a chance to get it back to one possession. Sumner lost his footing. Able to get it back. Now Gates. Thomas took a chance. McKira looks to make him pay, and he's fouled by Krompol.
Gaston with the heart of a warrior right here. Just tough spin move and shot that done by Trayvon Blewett. But Gaston once again not giving up on the play. Able to clean up the shot. Put it in for two.
And his fourth double-double this year. 2 shots here for J.P. McKira, one of the best foul shooters in the conference. Some substitutions for Coach McDermott. Ronnie Harrell comes in, and so does Toby Hegner. Getting a veteran presence in there, even though he has 4 fouls. Justin Patton remains on the bench with 4 fouls of his own. One possession game. Inside of 5 left in this top 25 matchup. Hegner pops. He's alone to bury the 3 and quiet the crowd. A dozen for Toby Hegner.
That was just lack of communication that time on switching that pick and roll. Result, big time 3 by Hegner.
Sumner drives out and throws it down. A statement slam from Edmund Sumner. Foster can't hit. Gates has it knocked away. Xavier ball with 4:03.
I'm still catching my breath from.
Wow.
It's just some things you just don't explain. You just let it breathe and you just explain itself. And that move, that explosion, that power and athleticism made me lose my breath.
Inside of 4 left now. Here's Blewett. Goes by Harrell. And he gets fouled. 2 shots for Trayvon Blewett. With a chance to cut it to 2. 3:51 to go. Edmund Sumner, take your breath away.
Take your breath away, but he also said, listen, this is business, not personal.
You think you can control.
Is involved with the pick and roll. You can't give up easy opportunities. Xavier, you can't gotta play defense without fouling and putting this Creighton team to the free throw line.
Blewett makes both. The game high 17 and a 12-3 run for Xavier to get X back to within 2. McKira anticipates the pass and saves it inbounds to Sumner. Edmund Sumner into the corner for Blewett. Sumner pops, passed up the open look, and an offensive foul.
And how about Xavier making up for the turnover on the opposite end? And I was just going to say, you feel confident if you're coach Greg McDermott down the stretch of the game that Isaiah Zierden has been in these situations before he turned it over. But as a veteran, was able to get that possession back by drawing a charge.
17 turnovers for Xavier. Somehow still within 2. Patton playing with 4 fouls. Gives it baseline Foster against McKira. Marcus Foster, hook shot. Tipped up and in. It's Patton.
And because there's a mismatch inside, Gaston once again was peeking towards helping and just lost sight of Patton.
Gaston with a mid-range jumper over the 7-foot.
How about it? Rarely see it, but he does have that ability to knock it in.
Foster got caught in between there. That one-handed pass you were talking about. Couldn't pull it back. 10 to shoot. Patton against Gates. Gave up his dribble. Now Foster with 5 on the shot clock. Splits the double. Teardrop off the iron. And McKira corrals it.
What's been good for you is a little pick and roll movement for Xavier, then able to get to the basket.
It is Sumner. Offline. Gaston the rebound and tipped out to Gates.
What a job by Gaston once again, positioning himself inside Joe to get the offensive rebound.
Timeout Xavier. 1 left for Chris Mack. With 1:53, Gaston now 15 rebounds, a new career high.
Well, inside you see Patton with the tip again. Gaston not paying attention to the backside, but he's been just a beast on the offensive glass, allowing Coach Mack to get another possession, call timeout, understanding how critical this situation is, that they get the shot that they want and not force anything.
So what are you using this timeout for? What are you drawing up?
One, to gather your breath, because you know you're going down the stretch of the game, to get everybody on the same page. Let's talk about getting a basket here, what we need to do on the defensive end.
Where's the ball going?
Oh, it's going to be in the hands of Edmund Sumner. I wouldn't be surprised if they do a lot of action on the perimeter that results into a pick and roll with Gaston. But then again, when he rolls to the basket, there's so much attention on Edmund Sumner that it opens up those offensive rebound opportunities for Gaston. They tried to get him on isolation on this side.
He goes baseline and puts it in with a foul. This game is tied, and Sumner for a chance for the lead.
The play they wanted to get it into Sumner's hands against Isaiah Zierden, kind of clear out the left side of the court. The late rotation that time by Cole Huff.
But another missed free throw, and it remains tied.
Yeah, if they come back and lose this game, they're going to be kicking themselves in the butt on the opportunities from the free throw line that they gave away.
They've missed 12 free throws today. Here's Cole Huff, baseline against Blewett. Had it go off his hip. Xavier basketball with 1:23.
And how about Trayvon Blewett locking in? Knowing that Cole Huff wanted to spin back, he anticipated that, stayed down, stayed disciplined, forced the turnover once again. And that may have, see that again, it looked like it may have went off the inside of Trayvon Blewett's left leg.
Too late now.
Oh, yeah, it is. He may have gotten away with that one.
Xavier looking for its first lead since the 16:35 mark. And J.P. McKira heads to the line with a chance to give it to him. on Isaiah Zierden's foul. This is the guy that you want up there on a day where they've missed 12 free throws. He's number 3 in the Big East, hitting 85% on the season. And even Makira has missed.
I would say it was you as the announcer, but based on the previous stuff that was going on, no.
There it is, 1 of 2, and Xavier leads for the first time in more than 15 minutes. Timeout, Creighton. Still 2 left for Greg McDermott. What a finish we got coming from Cincinnati.
Are you getting this?
These numbers are off the charts.
Sir.
What's the status?
There's a meteor hurtling towards Earth.
How long till impact?
Less than a minute. What do you want to do, sir?
Lister with the basketball or Kyrie Thomas. They both have the ability to step and shoot, but also get to the basket.
And without their orchestrator, Mo Watson, out with a knee injury, left in the first half.
Plenty of time for Creighton to reset.
Here's Foster splitting the double off the glass. The follow from Patton. And Creighton jumps back in front with 49 seconds.
And that's Creighton's best offense. Just put it up on the glass and allow Patton to clean it up for you.
Now who will it be for Xavier? In the hands of Sumner. Edmund Sumner crosses over, lost the handle, got it back, found Blewett. Sumner in for the rebound. Gaston's got it. 4 opportunities for Xavier and unable to hit at the rim. And then a whistle, and the officials coming together. Not sure if it's a timeout or if it's a foul. They've got J.P. Makira for the foul, and 2 shots coming for Creighton, trying to extend this 1-point lead.
And Xavier did everything right. They got the ball in the hands of the person they wanted in Sumner. He got inside. Yes, Patton was there, took away the shot, but it was offensive rebound short. Patton inside. You think about it inside. Here's the shot. Kind of lose the handle, but there's Patton. Forces you to turn it out. Good looking shot that time by Blewett. Offensive rebound. Guess who's there? Patton, once again, you miss. But listen, it didn't happen. It's still 16.7 seconds left. Creighton has to make their free throw, okay? You still have an opportunity in a 1-possession game to be here. So you can't hang your head and think that it's over. And I saw some slumped shoulders a little bit from Xavier after that possession in 5.
It has been one rough week for Chris Mack and the Musketeers, losing on the road to Villanova, losing on the road to Butler, and now facing a 3rd top 12 team this week. And 7th ranked Creighton trying to decide who will shoot the free throws, and that's obviously critical in this spot.
Well, it goes back, and again, still have a lot of time left. This game is not over, but Xavier, once again, it's the little things that you're not doing that cause you, especially in a close game like this, to lose it. Some other games, Villanova early on, they got kind of out of it. That wasn't close. Butler's the same thing. You kind of, second half, you didn't start off right. So, correctable errors, but when do you get over the hump of making a lot of those mistakes?
Looks like it'll be Cole Huff to shoot the free throw.
Yeah, he has a rebound underneath.
And he's an 89% foul shooter. Best he can do is make it a 3-point game.
And if he does make it a 3-point game, I'm sure Coach Mack, as he takes a timeout after he makes it, may have drawn up a play to get it up the court quick, to get it easy to try to get a steal on the inbounds pass, and then force the team to get to the free throw line. So still a lot of opportunities, a lot of game management left here.
2 shots, Kohlhoff. Calmly sinks the first.
And think about this. In non-conference, this Creighton team shot 68% from the free throw line. Since they've gotten into conference play, they're now shooting 76%. So they've gotten better once they've gotten into conference play.
And on a day where Xavier's missed 13 free throws, Creighton is 9 of 10. Timeout Chris Mack, the final one used by Xavier with 14.8. Game 2 of this marathon today. It's been a good one. We've got 3 more coming. Ball in St. John's immediately when we finish. We'll get you out to Queens for that one. Top-ranked Villanova at home against a really talented Seton Hall team, a team that won the Big East tournament last year against them. And Providence and Georgetown finishing things off. So take us inside that Chris Mack huddle here, Jim, with 14.8 left.
Well, important that you as a coach are calm, because that's how you want your players, first of all. Then you draw up a play, and your instructional issues are this. First of all, let's get the ball inbounds. Here's the play that we want. Okay, whether that's an isolation once again for Edmond Sumner, and emphasize that we don't need a 3. What we do, we need to attack quick. When we score, immediately if we can get a steal on the inbounds pass, we don't, we foul. If you have an open 3, knock it in. But that's not what let's extend this game and force Creighton to have to get the ball inbounds and then knock down their free throw.
Too early to consider fouling if you're Coach McDermott?
See, and I love that strategy. The issue is, do you work on that in practice? See, and that's the issue that a lot of coaches have and why they don't do it, because they really don't work on that in those situations, so they don't trust that their players will make the right decision when they're put in that situation.
And it's especially tricky in that you're in the half court.
It is.
So you're in the danger zone of the shot going up when you make that foul.
It's different if you got the ball full court and the guy has to advance it and you have a chance off a couple dribbles to foul him. The half court set, like you said, shot can go up quickly.
They get it into Sumner. Dribble handoff Makira with 12. It's Gates. They get a good look for Blewett, who's well short, and Thomas has it. They finally foul him with 5.9, and he can all but seal the deal by making one of these 2 free throws.
Well, you can't be mad at the play. Execute it to perfection, because now you shifted the defense and you kind of came, it was a misdirection play like in football, got it back. Trayvon Blewett had the shot. And Chris Mack has said this before. We've had shots. Trayvon has had shots, but he's just not making them. That time his body wasn't as square to the basket, caused it to be a little bit short.
And Thomas hits the first to make it a 2-possession game. Creighton so good at the line today. 11 of 12. Hit a quick bucket. Sumner takes it all the way, can't hit, and Creighton's going to get out of here with a hard-fought win. Despite losing their senior leader point guard Mo Watson during the first half, and despite a crazy comeback from Xavier down the stretch that saw X take the lead with a minute left. Creighton's able to pull out of here with a win, and now 18-1 for the first time in program history. 72-67 the final. Now we send it to FS1 College Hoops Extra. Mike Hill, Steve Lavin, Donnie Marshall.
Billy Garrett Jr. getting ready to play. He's been stepping up lately. Look at the numbers